Welcome to the Handy Mom 868. To those who are new to the channel, we're glad to have you. Today's video is going to be all about labels. I'm Ruth. This is Zoe. Zoe, say hi.
Hi.
Say hi.
Hi.
Hi. Yes, and we're going to talk about several different types of labels that we use to keep your space nice and organized. And we have a special bonus content where I'll show you how I made my homemade clear labels for my laundry makeover, and eventually you'll see the one I did for my pantry makeover. So stay tuned.
Bye.
Bye. So let me put this out there. As much as I recommend using labels when you're trying to organize a space or keep it organized, one of the things I should mention is that all labels are not equal. And what do I mean? There are some labels that you can order or pre-order online, and they come in packages. Most times they are categorized. So for instance, when I first started doing my home organization, I ordered a set of labels for my pantry. Now, nothing was wrong with them. They actually worked pretty well. They came with a clear background and I was able to put them onto my basket clips. But here's the challenge. When there were items that I needed to customize, I had a problem. I can either reorder another set of labels, another category to get the actual items that I wanted, or I could custom order from the companies that are actually doing the clear labels. Yeah, the second option wasn't really an option for me because I wouldn't custom order one label. That doesn't make any sense. So there I was trying to fit items into categories to fit the labels rather than the other way around. Then I decided that I would just do chalk labels. Yeah, with a nice chalkboard background. They come with a handy liquid chalk. And here's one of the things I discovered. So as much as they are really nice, and I just wrote Jasmine on here and I didn't leave space for the E. No problem. You take a wet cloth and you wipe it off and you can start all over. So now I can write Jasmine with an E. Here was the challenge. For areas such as your pantry or kitchen or laundry, sometimes you go into these areas with wet or damp or moist hands. And this is what happens. Yeah. And no one wants to be rewriting on your container every time you go into the pantry to use an item. So keep that in mind. My third problem was this. When I have extra long titles, that in other words I wanted my labels to put in proportion to my container, that was going to be another challenge. With doing my own labels at home, I was able to achieve this label, this long label for this container for my emergency supplies. So what are the options, you may ask? Well, you will see in the video that's coming up, this is the bonus content, you will see exactly how I was able to make my labels for these particular items. But for those who don't want to go through that process, because it is a process, there is an item called the Cricut Label Maker. I'm going to include it in the link in the description box. But listen, I have an order for one and it's going to change your life, because what it does, it practically lets you customize your labels and print your clear labels without all the hassle of having to go through the process that I'm about to show you. So I found a way to make it easier and I'm going to let you know what that is. stay tuned. So in order to create the labels, what we need to do is find a software, whichever software you have, whether it be Word or, in my case, if I'm using my Mac, I'm going to use Pages, and find a font that is suitable for the area that you're going to be using. For instance, in my laundry area and my pantry, I want my fonts to be able to be easy to recognize. So someone looking at it will know exactly what those items are. So I prefer to use nice, clean fonts without all the little squiggles that we sometimes like. Now, those kind of cursive writing may come in useful elsewhere. For instance, if you wanted to do an area in your bedroom and you just want to put a label to give it a nice kind of sexy look, then you could probably use a nice cursive font. But for areas that are that you will probably want to keep people informed, or you want to warn them that this is what is in this particular container, then you use a font for your labels that are nice and clear and clean, and anyone can recognize them. Now, most times I'm working on the computer, I have to put this one to Nat because she does not letter. So let me go do that, and then I'll show you exactly how I create my fonts using the software that I have. So what I'm basically going to do here is I'm going to select a font from the options that I have in my Pages software on the Mac, and then I will size the font to the size I believe that I want to use. Now, there is definitely a more scientific approach to this, and where you can actually measure the space that your label is going to go in and probably transfer that measurement to the width of your label here using Photoshop or some one of those other really technical software. But I am trying for this to be as simple as possible. It may take trial and error at some point, but this is the easiest way that I know how to do it. I'm going to select a font that I think will stand out and be nice and clean for my laundry area. I think that looks like a relatively good size for my clothespin jar. So now all I have to do is print. So now that I've finished printing the label, what I'm going to do is use regular packing tape. See, oh, this is a little trick to keeping the ends of the tape in such a state that you can easily find the end. I mean, we're no longer using these 1 cent pieces, so might as well put them to good use. So I'm gonna just take out the tape, and let me just shift the camera a bit so you can see exactly what I'm going to do with the tape here. And this next step is very important. You can use a credit card, or you know, those discount cards that you get from the stores, but it doesn't matter. Once it's a firm, flat edge piece of plastic, you take it and you pass it over your words. Make sure you push out all the air pockets. Take back out my 1 cent piece. You see how smooth that is? You can cut it out in a rectangle if you choose, or you can make another shape by tracing the lines around the words. It's up to you. It doesn't make a difference in the end, but I am being lazy right now. I have just cut exactly, well, a type of rectangle, see? And what I have here is just water in a bowl, nothing else, just water. And what I'm going to do is just drop it in the water. Now you can leave this to soak for about 5 to 10 minutes. You just want to make sure the paper is saturated completely, and so you leave that in there. So now that the paper is nice and saturated, what you do is you just rub on the back to remove all the paper from the tape itself. Don't be afraid of rubbing too much and you're gonna rub it off. Get off all the paper until you just have the tape and the print left. Now it's going to look a little cloudy, that's alright. When it dries, it's going to dry clear, and all the stickiness from the tape is going to return. What I advise is that if you're doing more than one label and you're using the entire letter size paper, you use a bigger bowl, because the more water you have, it's better for when you're taking the backing off, because after a while it gets kind of cloudy, and you know, you want to make sure that you're getting clean water onto the back. To help roll off that paper. So this is what is going to look like when you take it off, when you take off all the paper from it. This is the back and this is the front of it. Now you're going to take this just as it is. Yes, it's looking cloudy, but you're going to take it and just leave it to dry. Just leave it on your countertop or whatever with the sticky side up. So now that it's almost fully dry because you're seeing most of the cloudy spots have basically disappeared. And if you touch the back, you'll realize that it's now sticky, so the stickiness is returning to it. Now you can leave this till completely dry, or you can attach it just as is. Yeah, I'm a little impatient, so let me attach it just as is and show you what happens. Now this isn't completely dry, so you may see some little white spots here and there, but once it's completely dry, it will be clear and you can use it. And that's it. That's as easy as it is.
The following is a video for the item that I mentioned previously. Listen, this thing seems to be the game changer where it comes to personalizing your labels, so check it out.
If you've enjoyed this video and you have gotten some great information, some great content out of it, please like, subscribe, and share. I'd like to hear from you in the comment section. So if you decided that you wanted to make your own labels using your printer at home, snap a picture of what you've done and leave it in the comment section. Click like, turn on the notification bell so that you'll know exactly when I upload new videos. It was my pleasure bringing you this content, and I hope to see you soon. See ya.